The determinant of whether you file or not is not how you make your money, right? It's how much money you make. As long as you earn more than 34,000 a year, you're obligated to file income taxes.
报税截止日期越来越近，相信许多人都已经完成报税，但人民年年缴税，这些钱究竟去了哪？如果我们不报税，会不会受到对付？而逃税的问题又会否对国家经济造成破坏？百格邀请了金融服务平台 Ring Plus 的首席执行员廖卫汉为你一一解答。
Yeah, that's a good question. I love that question. So, where does our tax money go, right? It goes into several places, obviously. But the best way to figure out is every year the government comes up with this budget, right, towards the end of the year, or how they're going to spend the money that they earn, so our tax money, for both administering the nation, means how to run the country, as well as developing. Assign certain monies in this area, whether it's education or medicine, infrastructure development, schools, roads, that kind of thing. If you're asking, how does the government adjust tax rates to most adequately or most equitably or most fairly tax citizens, that's economics theory already. It's about, okay, how much do I have to set tax rates to just about stimulate enough reinvestment or savings rates back into the economy? How stable do I need it to be to encourage, stability in business, stability in, also talent, right? As in citizens, we are all talent, which if tax rates are not stable or not predictable in that way, then there's a risk that the talent may move overseas. Actually, the nature of taxes in Malaysia is not about citizenship. It's actually about residency. It's where you live. If you live in Malaysia, that is more than 182 days a year. Obviously, there's a little bits on pieces on half year here and half year there. But in general, if you live and work in Malaysia, you are a tax resident. You can be a foreign citizen, but you are a tax resident in Malaysia. So a Malaysian living in Singapore will be subject to Singapore resident taxes. Right? A Singaporean living in Malaysia will be subject to Malaysian resident taxes. And then a lot of people misunderstand tax evasion from tax avoidance. Okay, tax avoidance is making the most out of the reliefs that are available to avoid paying taxes, right? And that's perfectly legal, right? What is not legal is declaring wrongly, i.e. evading, or not declaring at all, i.e. really evading, right? And that is against the law, right? The authorities, or the tax authorities, have the power and the right to conduct audits on you to determine whether or not you did declare accurately or not. That includes looking into requesting receipts from you, whether it's income or expense receipts, as well as your bank movements, right? So certain bank transfers that happen off and on. I guess it's more about community-driven drive towards this mindset, which is it's not just relying on the fact that the law exists. It's not just the fact that we're relying on enforcement exists, but also encouraging each other to be better citizens, to be a better Malaysia, right? So if you look at our government's revenue, it's over 200 billion, right? Of which it's a large percentage comes from personal income taxes. Then the rest come from corporates, and then the rest come from issuing bonds, and also things like Petronas dividend and things like that. But hear me, like what we contribute really matters. If we all stop contributing income tax, the government will not be able to function. Say, hey, you know what? You've got extra income. You're lucky enough to have that, right? And I know you want to save as much as possible, but this is the law. We've got to start with ourselves to make a better Malaysia.